Guys, this live is going to be what I'm going to be doing from now on in the free Facebook group. Once I've set up the paid Facebook group, we're going to have success story lives every single week, alternate weeks. One for the US audience 1 week. The next week, we're going to have UK and European and Australian audience, different time zone. So people can join and talk about their success. Now, it doesn't have to be getting your specific person back success. It can be anything or just getting your self-concept on point, okay, which is the point of these lives. And what it is to celebrate just feeling fucking amazing about yourself. And for others to learn what you've been doing, okay? So it's like a form of coaching, but with actual followers in the group. Right, so who's going first? Let's see. So we've got Judy. Now, Judy had one-to-one coaching with me ages ago and her sister too. So let me find Judy. I'm adding you, Judy. I'm adding you.
Hi! How are you?
Hi, darling.
Yes, I can. Very far away, but yes, I can hear you.
Hang on.
Yeah, I don't know why. Can you hear? Well, yeah, you can hear me.
Yeah, you sound far away too. What the fuck? Okay, so let's hope the sound's good on this. Guys, let's manifest good sound, okay? Because I can hardly hear Judy. She sounds like she's in a back room.
I'm good. How are you?
Hi, darling. Good. So, guys,
Yay.
Judy's an opera singer, a soprano, and she had a call with me, and then her sister had a call with me about her career and everything. So tell us, darling, what are you been doing?
My self-concept is on fire right now. I do remember how we manifested that coaching with my sister. I coached with you twice, and I was like, I'm going to manifest you and my sister meeting. And then the next day I got a check, and I was like, I'm paying for my sister's coaching. Like this.
So lovely. It's so lovely to meet her too.
But everything,
so nice.
been a journey, not going to lie. Like, ups and downs, cryings, and then like 3 days I was doing great, and then 2 days I was crying for 3 hours. Whatever. That's what happens.
That's what happens. Like I don't expect anyone to ever come on any of these.
No,
I know.
It's
all been chickadee boo the whole time. Like, have you met me?
I remember there was
Hello.
I was crying one day and I was like, I'm just going to give up. And then I remember you being like, no, when you're crying, you affirm and you don't give up. And I was like, she's going to kill me if I give up right now. And I just kept going. But I posted this like 3 days ago or 2 days ago. Flowers meant the world to me, especially roses. That's been my forever dream, somebody giving me roses, because I would connect them to being pretty, a priority, chosen. And I never got roses from nobody, not even my parents. No one ever in my life.
Really?
And on my birthday,
and that's what
right?
Is meant to get at the
They
end,
would bring me flowers, but not roses. Everything but roses. It was so sad. And I just remember I was like, I'm just going to buy myself roses. Once I started my self-concept journey, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to buy myself roses and whatever. Let's see what happens. It's been almost a year, but who cares? Because the joy I felt on my birthday with all those roses was just like, it was so worth it.
And they were all
roses. Everyone was giving me roses on my birthday.
So what did you do to get the roses?
I started about, I want to say back in September. That's when I got my manifestation buddy. And I told her about it. And every day we would send WhatsApp audios. And I would be like, yeah, my roses are so pretty here sitting in my living room. And she would tell me like, oh, your roses are so pretty. And they came from somebody that loves you a lot. And that was it. And, self-concept in the morning, I have this huge list that I say in the morning and at night. And during the day, I say 5 or 3 just to, like, keep it going. And that was basically it. I woke up the day of my birthday with no expectations. I knew I was going to get flowers from someone because my mom always does that. But my friend calls me, and he's like, I'm outside your house, and he has roses. And I was like, whoa, okay, thank you. 2 hours later, my mom sends me a text, and she was like, go outside your door. There's roses at the porch. And I was like, okay. My roommate is like, here's your birthday cake with roses around it. I just started crying, and I was like, oh, my God. I am finally feeling it and, like, seeing it in my 3D, how I'm loved, I'm chosen, I'm sexy, I'm all of these amazing things. Yeah. I cannot.
Amazing. And you never know how it's going to come about, like roses on a cake. Like you wouldn't have thought of that.
Pictures of roses, people posting pictures of me on Instagram and Facebook with roses. Until now, I'm still getting my friends being like, I'm so sorry I missed your birthday party, and like roses. It's been 2 days.
That's fucking weird. My God.
Oh my God. Also that, 2 days ago, I got a notice. I've been working on this new work. I live in Maryland, which is near to Washington, D.C. and Virginia. And I've been knowing about this new work and that we're going to do it in April and everything. And I got an email yesterday in the morning being like, hey guys, so the opera company is doing their debut at the Kennedy Center, which is like the big theater in DC. And we're premiering the opera right there. And I was like, the opera I'm going to be in? And they were like, yes, you're going to do your debut at the Kennedy Center with a world premiere opera. And I am so excited. It's nuts. It's nuts. I remember, I think it was our second meeting when I was like, I need to get a visa. I need to find a way of being here because I'm from Mexico. And within weeks, I got a lawyer. I got somebody to help me pay for my lawyer. And things just started moving. I got so many auditions. And even though a lot of the outcomes were old thinking, the way I'm reacting to everything, it's just life-changing.
And what's happened with the visa? Because this is one of Judy's biggest issues was the visa. We had 2 calls.
So I should get a call from my lawyer literally anytime soon because it's 6 months that you have to wait, and it's going to be 6 months anytime soon. But I'm not worried about it. I am not.
Of course you shouldn't be. You can get roses on a fucking cake and people can send you
Yes, I'm literally not worried about it. I'm still affirming for it. I'm visualizing me on stage and doing things. And that's all it matters. That's all I'm seeing. And even in my 3D, I'm still in the United States. Like, 3D, you can't fight me right now. Yeah.
No. Fuck no. You know what I mean? When I wanted to stay in England, I was there for 14 fucking years and I went through hell getting visas. If I'd just known this, it would have taken me the normal 5-year process. It took me 14 years and I didn't understand it properly.
Well, when I saw you that second time, I remember telling you I went to 3 lawyers and they all told me, oh, just go to a dating app and marry someone. And I was like, no, I can't do it. I was like, no. So then I met with you and I started affirming. Within a week, I found a lawyer. A week later, I found somebody to help me pay for that lawyer, and it's been moving. Yeah.
Amazing. I
got this person that I met at a concert right before COVID hit like hard here in the US. And her husband were like, you're so talented. We like helping young singers. Please call me if you ever need anything. So I called her. I literally just called her to be like, I might do a fundraising concert and I would love you to come. And she was like, how much is it? And I was like, $4,000. And she was like, oh, here you go.
Like your benefactors, like your old-fashioned art benefactors, like in Shakespearean times when someone would be your benefactor and pay for you to be creative, give you whatever.
Yeah.
My God. Oh, gee, that's amazing. I'm thrilled for you, darling. Well,
I am so ready. That's the next success story in there. I just know.
Well, when you do the Kennedy Center, will you send us some
photos or videos? It's going to be an interesting one. Yes, I will.
Put it in the group. Oh, that's so exciting. When is it?
10th, I think.
Wow. And what's the...
So this is an entire opera. It's based on a real story of immigrants crossing the border from Mexico to the United States. And catch this, my character is the lawyer who is fighting for them to leave the country.
Oh, how funny.
That was triggering me at some point, and I was like, no, this can't trigger me. I'm already here. No. That's a completely different character.
No, that's going to give you some fire in your belly to play the part. I think that's great.
But yes, it's going to be really cool.
You can sing with gusto.
I was like, you know what? Maybe I need to take a day off this opera and just meditate, and it's going to be fine. And I went back to it, and now I'm fully memorized, ready for rehearsal. Let's see what happens. I'm so happy. I will.
Make sure you put it in the group, won't you? Oh, Judy, that's so lovely. Oh, it's been so good chatting to you, darling.
Thank
You've
you
had so much success. I'm so proud of you.
For everything.
And say hi to your sis as well.
All the things you do for us. Really, you are a star.
Oh, don't worry, darling. Don't you worry. So hop on at the end, won't you? At the end, if you're still here, we'll put everyone on a one.
No worries. Okay, thank you so much for having me. Bye.
All right, darling. Okay. See you, darling. Bye.
I don't know.
Oh, hang on. Let me press my thing. So now I'm going to get Catherine. So let's find Catherine. Catherine McCall, Lord. Are you in the house? Where is she? Catherine, one of my first followers.
How are you? How are you? I'm good.
Hello, darling. How are you? Your name is so familiar to me. I honestly, when I was approving you for this, honestly thought you'd done coaching with me. That's how long you've been here.
How long have you been on TikTok?
A year now.
Okay,
A year
so I've
a couple
been
of
on
weeks.
the whole time watching you. But
What? Now, guys, does this sound really far away? It's saying I sound far away, but you sound far away too. I don't know what's going on with the sound. Hopefully, when this post, guys, the sound won't be so bad. But honestly, Catherine, you sound like you're like in another room.
you guys did too when I watched you, but I could still hear you.
You know what it is? It's the same thing happened with Sasha and I when we went live on TikTok. Same thing happened. So my sound dropped and she was loud. It was really odd. So hopefully, guys, when you watch this back, it won't be so bad. Yeah. Let's say the sound works. So, Catherine, tell us what you've been doing and what you learned.
Mine is more an SP story, but SP story. It's a long one. No, I won't make it that long. So I started dating a guy 4 years ago, off and on. And I had gone through a bad breakup before that. My self-concept was awful. I was like cussing him out. I mean, he did one little thing. I was telling him when he needed to text me, when he should call me, how much he should call me. We would.
You were in full masculine doing anything.
I would ask him out. He wouldn't ask me out. So we would break up, get back together, break up, get back together. And then I started watching you. And I started getting it. I was getting better. But we were back together in the summer. And then, I don't know, some things crept in, broke up for about 4 months. And I just worked on myself. The sleep affirmations, I'd wake up at 4 a.m. to watch you. And I didn't ask many questions, but I would watch. And I would
You'd wake up at 4 a.m.
Because I'm in Delaware. But I did the mirror affirmations, everything. So he came back 2 weeks ago, said everything that I wanted him to say. Now, it's been a little slow, but I already know why inside. But everything, I feel like a completely different person. Like, I feel like my self-concept is so on point. Like, I don't even care.
So what were you doing? Were you affirming a lot, or what were you doing? I started
out more affirming for him, and then that time we got back together, I could tell that's what it was after listening to you more and taking it more in, because it takes time. Now, it's not overnight, but it's not.
Overnight, whatever that thing is, it will happen, whatever it is. So then when he came back and he was saying what you wanted him to say, what kind of things was he saying? Stuff you'd affirmed?
I was the one, and he's very sweet. He would always say that stuff to me, but every time he would leave, I would be like, he's an asshole. I would call all my friends, anybody who would listen, even my mother, and tell, what an asshole he was, all the bad things he did. And then like a month would go by and I'd realize it wasn't him. But so this time, he was just saying how I was the one, and sometimes he didn't know why I took him back, but also he didn't know why I took him back anyway, or why he took him back. And just how he knew we were going to be together, and that, but so lovely. Then he texted for like 2 or 3 days. And then it kind of slipped off, but I could tell I was starting to get a little, so I just didn't, normally I would text him and be like, hey, where are you? Like, you need to text like, this is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And he normally would, but then he'd get sick of me. And I don't blame him. So this time I've just not done anything. I really don't care. Like, I know he will, but
So don't allow the drop off of texting to throw you slowly, catch you monkey. You know what I mean? Like, 'cause that's what, it's a phenomenon that I'm watching a lot in the lives. People are like, they've come back, but now they've flaked. They've come back, now they're ghosted. And I'm like, dude, it's only been a week. It's only been 3 weeks. It's only been whatever.
Yeah.
Like, don't give it that meaning. Because then you're just going back to your old self-concept straight away again as the unwanted one, the rejected one, the abandoned one.
I don't feel that way at all. I don't feel like anything. I feel like I already know what's going to happen. But I know it's wonderful.
Beautiful.
And I mean, it was a lot of patience. I mean, there were times when I would have to watch you twice in a day because I would be like, okay, my patience is wearing thin. But I knew I'd get there. But it's funny, in the end, when all those people would ask about the ghosting, I would be yelling at the phone. Like, they're not ghosting you. It's not been that long. Let it go. So, I feel great.
Oh, amazing. Well, guys, if you have questions for her about how she did this at the end, when we get everyone back at the end, if you've got a question for Catherine, you can ask. I can see a few questions coming up. But we'll go through everyone, okay? And then at the end, if you're prepared to answer questions, right? Okay. Oh, darling, that's wonderful. And are you feeling better in yourself with other aspects of your life,
My
not just
business
SP?
is doing amazing. I'm a hairstylist. I have a business. And I've kind of branched it off in other areas. Like, I'm going to start a podcast. And I'm in an Amazon influencer, and I would have never done any of that before. I would have been way too afraid. But I'm just, it's like it's meant to be.
So you've got all the confidence.
But I mean, it's been me this whole entire year working really hard to do it. Tears, just wanting to give up, but going. Yeah.
Oh, look, everyone goes through that. There's so many times when you're just like, oh, this is fucking too much effort. But you're fighting your old thoughts. It's relentless. It's relentless, you know, sometimes.
I don't really remember the old story. I know.
Good. Did you revise or did you not revise?
I just work it out in my head. Sometimes I write it down, but it's mostly just me working it out in my head. And I mean, I could go through like a full day of like crying and down on myself or whatever, but then I would think, okay, I'm going to come out of this. There's a reason. And then the next day I feel so much better and I leveled up just a little bit. So I'm pushing myself to do that.
Amazing. Yeah, so listen, guys, hear that? If you're spiraling, you don't have to just let yourself dig yourself into a big hole and just live there.
Yeah.
Okay, you can get out of it.
How long you can do it, because you kind of need it. Because you got to let go of some of that stuff. But, I would just give myself some time.
Good. So you let yourself feel it, let it all out.
A year ago, it would be like a month long, a week long. And now it's barely a day. It's barely a day. I appreciate it.
Really? Brilliant. Oh, that just goes to show you've improved, because otherwise if you're still in the hole a week later, you know you haven't.
Thank you for everything.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, Catherine, that's brilliant. I'm thrilled for you, darling. Oh, keep us posted, won't you? But come on the end when everyone's here. Yeah. Thanks for sticking around for so long with me, darling.
Okay.
All right, I'll speak to you at the end.
Bye.
Bye. Hang on, I'll try you again, Mario. Wait a second. Send invitation. Okay. Now I've sent it to you again.
Oh, yes. You got it.
So, guys, make sure your permissions are on, okay? Hi, darling.
I'm doing wonderful.
How are you?
Doing?
Hi,
no,
we never had a call.
we not. Actually, this is very out of character.
Oh,
I tried getting
nice
a call with you, but by the time I asked, you weren't offering coaching anymore. So I was like, damn it, I missed it.
It's so annoying. I'm sorry, darling. We'll do group coaching soon. So tell us about you. How long have you been watching?
I've been watching you since around September-ish, and I went through like a breakup. COVID, like 6-7 times. Like it was a hot mess, to be honest with you. But you know what?
Oh, no.
You know, it's okay. Looking back now, to be honest with you, this has been the best unfolding, the best eye-opening experience ever in my life. Because
sometimes the breakup is what had to break you open. I know that happened to me. Like, and sometimes it has to be a really good person. If it's with an asshole, you won't learn anything. But if it's with a really good person, you'll go, how I still was fucking things up with a good person.
Yeah.
So it must be me.
Like after a while, I realized,
that's what I learned anyway.
After a while, through the whole breakup phase, it's like, oh, it's your fault. No, it's your fault. Yeah, it's my fault. I own up to it. It is.
And we don't want to say fault. It's just
The
you just got to take the ownership of your thoughts. That's all.
That was just one of my things. Just taking ownership of it all. To be honest with you, and just really.
Yeah. So how are you feeling in yourself now? What have you been doing?
Like, fucking fabulous. Like,
wow! Hooray!
So,
how come? What were you doing?
I went through the breakup. Started working on my self concept. And. The dates started coming in, guys started hitting me up, and I was like, okay, like I feel good. But then I met somebody, and then he was reflecting back some old stories. So I got kind of caught up in that. But as he was reflecting the old story, I was like, it's okay. I'm like, it's all right. You know what? I'll work on my self-concept, because he was basically reflecting the same things, like, hey, I don't feel good enough for you. I don't feel like I'm ready to date. It was a lot of old stories. And I was like, you know what? It's okay. Because you know what? I'm going to get you.
Is that what you've had a history of, non-committal people or kind of casual relationships?
And, he was like, you know what? I'm sick of tired of putting others first. Because that was my thing. I would always I was a people pleaser. Always putting other people first in relationships, just in life in general. And he was just reflecting that back to me, and I was like, okay, you know what? It's time.
Yeah.
Because this is like a 20-year, actually a lifetime thing that I've been trying to break through, and it's like finally it feels like I've reached that point, and it feels amazing.
And so sometimes when someone comes back and they're still showing it to you, that happened around my birthday in August last year. My ex was meant to pick me up for my birthday. It was meant to do this whole thing, and he'd offered, and then he just didn't show. And I was like, huh? And then a whole lot of people cancelled, and it was literally like they were literally not choosing me on my birthday. I'm like, well, if this isn't the biggest reflection of me still feeling unchosen, I don't know what is, right? So sometimes it's really good because it's showing you still need to work on this shit.
So it's like, one of those things. You just have to. It's a lifestyle change. It's not just like it's just like with me. I'm into fitness, so it's like it's the same thing. You just can't do it. Okay, I'm gonna do it for a week. I'll just do it for a little bit, get you back, and then it be a temporary. No, that doesn't cut it. Like I'm a.
You're not gonna get a juicy ass doing it that way. So now, how are things going now, darling? After all that happened.
So I don't know if you remember yesterday on your TikTok. I'm the one that told you I manifested the job with the salary that I wanted. Yes. So you announced the Valentine's Day the challenge, and I was like, you know what, fuck it, let's just do it. Whatever. What do I got to lose? I got to put myself on the pedestal anyways. Yes.
The challenge we did in the group.
So I got into it. Yep. I the first time I heard about it was like about 2 weeks ago ish. So I was like, you know what, let's just do it. It just really caught my attention. I was like, you know what, let's do it. Fuck it, why not? Back to back. I ran into my ex. I manifested money. I got the 6-figure salary job that I wanted with the money that I wanted. I'm moving across the state. The guys are flowing in. The dates are coming in. My body's looking real good. It's honest.
What were you doing in the challenge? What were you actually doing?
I would kind of beat myself up. I don't know. I always love it whenever you go off on people. And I know you do it out of love, but it just gets me so hyped. It's just like one of those things to hype you up and like get the fuck out of that funk. Like, come on, you can do it. And it's like I would just go to like one of your videos and just listen to it. I'm like, okay. And then now it's at a point to where like I just be like, come on, get out of it. Like, come on, it's easy. Just affirm.
So you're picking yourself up. You're telling yourself up.
At night I've been listening to the Banish the Third Party one, but like I listen to it more for like the self concept, like put myself on the priority.
Yeah, it's all self-concept. It's not even about a third party. People are like, why does it say third party? I'm like, well, really, just the
and
search
honestly, like it
algorithm,
just feels like
you
I
know.
am the priority. Like I'm number one. Like I'm like if I don't like it, I'm like no, I'm not.
And how long have you been
Oh,
doing
the
that
sleep
sleep
tape, I
tape
was
for?
doing it for about a month. I was like, because I was really
Really?
bouncing back and forth between your sleep tapes, and I was like, I'm like, something's not right. Like something didn't feel right. And then I watched one of your videos, and it said, you told somebody, hey, watch Bad to Third Party. I know it's more about that, but it's more about making myself the priority. And then I thought about it. Yeah, and I thought
Making
about it for a
yourself the
moment,
priority,
and I
yeah.
was like, you know what? My entire life, I've always gave other people the priority. Like I need to do that for myself, and it just started happening. Like I started, like all these ideas started coming in. Like people, like even my family members are starting to reflect the new me. Like I honestly would never, yes, like they are
Really?
all into manifestation. Like honestly, I would never think ever in a million years they would be into manifesting. But so it's like I have such a good support
Wow.
system that now I can just talk to them and it not feeling like woo woo. So
Oh, you're talking
yeah,
to them about
yeah.
manifestation and they're into it
Yeah,
now.
and they're all into
Oh,
it. Like even
crazy.
my little brother, who's really big into fitness, I never would think he would be into that, and he just surprised me one day. So it's
Oh,
like
how
it
lovely.
feels nice to like, yeah, I know, because me, I don't like really talking about it to others, only to those that relate to it. But like just having my family on board on it, it makes it like it helps. It really does help. It is.
It's huge. Otherwise, the only people you feel like you can
Yes.
talk to are the people on the
Yes.
lives and in this Facebook group. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's really good. And so you know, don't you, that now that this is
Hmm.
flowing and things are flowing to you, that
They're just rolling in. They're
SPs will
just
just be
rolling in.
next. You know what I mean?
It's like
Mm-hmm. Then you can just
yeah,
have your
and it's
choice
like, you
going.
know what? It's like I don't, if it's something I don't like, I'm like, oh no, I need to do something. Either I need to change something or something needs to catch up. It's one of those two. I'm like, and right now it's just I just feel on point. So
Brilliant. Oh, Joan, that's wonderful. Oh, there's so many questions coming in. So many people asking you questions. So
yeah,
are you
yeah, of
happy to
course,
come on at the end and
absolutely.
everyone else and ask questions? I don't know if I can
Yeah,
for
yeah.
everyone at
We'll
once, but I'll try.
we'll manifest it together. We'll do it all together.
We'll figure it out. We'll manifest it. Oh,
Likewise.
darling, it's lovely chatting
Yes,
to
thank
you.
you so
I'm
much for
thrilled.
everything. Thank you. It's helped me a lot.
Oh, that's
Thank
all
you.
right, darling. You're welcome.
Alrighty.
All right, I'll chat to you at the end.
Bye.
All right, Mario, bye. Okay, who's next? Helen. Okay, I'm going to find Helen. Helen had a call with me ages ago. Here you go. So Helen and I had a call, probably one of the first calls right at the beginning, maybe February or March last year, maybe. Just trying to think.
Hey,
Helen, are you joining us?
how are you?
Helen, darling.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Good. How are you? Can you remember when our call
like
was?
a couple weeks into you starting coaching.
It was really, you were one of my first, and I probably didn't focus enough on self-concept with you. I probably talked too much about the SP with you.
No, you gave me shit about
Did
talking
I?
too much
Yeah.
about the SP.
Oh, I did. Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
decided that by that stage. The couple of the really early people, I let them talk too much about the SP until I started getting a bit stricter. And so you must have been when I started getting a bit stricter.
Yeah, you're
like,
it's not about you, it's about you. And literally,
great, John. So how are things?
it's been a crazy year. It's been a lot of hot and cold, which I know it's me. But the more every time I look back to the last year, like it's been a little bit longer than that, but I don't focus on the time since we've been apart. But every time I focus on me, like is when I get a lot of movement from him. I'm in regular communication with him. I even manifested going on vacation with him. I literally wrote down once that the next time he goes to his country, he's going to go with me. And because I'm really close with his family. And he just one day said like, oh, I want to go, back home, whatever. And I said, oh, I'm going on these dates. He's like, oh, can I come with you? Like, I didn't ask him to come with me. But it's always when I'm working on me.
Oh, that's
like
great.
It's so true when you say focus on you and they focus on you. But it's so, I don't even want to say it's hard because I want to affirm that, but it is much more difficult when they're in your 3D on a regular basis because you get like, I don't know, you start to focus on them more. Don't let them trigger me too much now. Like this past weekend we were supposed to do something
together, and he canceled on me, and I was just like, F you, I'm gonna go still. And I took a friend with me, and we still had fun. So I didn't let it. Before, my old self concept would have been like, I wouldn't have gone, I would have just cried, spiraled. You know, even maybe a few months ago, I might have not like sat and cried all day, but, or even if I did cry, I would try to affirm the good story.
Feel a
reaction. Feel a reaction.
Yeah.
Where now it's just kind of like, maybe 2 seconds. I was kind of like, that sucks that he's.
And why do you think?
Because I've been working more on me, and I know that, like, I know for sure that I'm creating this, and it's still just old thoughts coming out. And I believe 100% in my power. So I know with everything that's happened in the past year that, like, because he's only been back in my 3D since like December 2020, and then it was really not good until I spoke to you, and within a week of talking to you, he was regularly in my 3D, like almost on a daily basis.
Wow.
But then, like, not seeing him,
but then the hot and cold,
yeah,
just your old
just
story,
communicating
old
with
thoughts.
him, and then
yeah.
One day he kind of was being like a little nasty, like just kind of cold, dry, like he wasn't doing anything wrong, but I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give you space, you need to. And I didn't talk to him for a month, and I said, you know, I'm gonna finally listen to laws this time, and I'm gonna affirm only for myself. And I affirmed only for myself. And then one day I said to my friend, you know what, I'm gonna see him before I leave for my trip in June. And she's like, really, you haven't talked to him in a month? I said, no. The next morning he messaged me. It was crazy. Like, when these things happen, it's just like, but I literally was just affirming. Every time I think about him, I would say a self-concept affirmation instead of one about him. And
brilliant. And guys, honestly, if you've been on the call with Helen, I swear to you, I remember exactly where I was sitting, and I told you off for talking too much about him. And every time I tried to talk about you, you go, and I'd be like, shut up, stop talking about him. I probably didn't yell at you, but I was really like, no. So now you're doing that yourself.
And I 100%, like, I even manifested a car just like you did, doing the exact same thing. I have affirmations in my bathroom mirror, and I wrote down one day, I love my new car. And there was nothing really wrong with my car. I had a 2015 4Runner. I loved it, but it's just a gas guzzler.
Oh, I remember this story you put in the Facebook group.
Yeah,
and tell us on live.
Gas guzzler and stuff. And I didn't need that big of a vehicle. And driving my car, I just, like, with my eyes open, visualized, I love my new car. And I just kind of saw like this big, like almost like an iPad screen kind of thing on the dashboard. And within 2 weeks, I have a 2021 Venza. And I was saying situation, really wasn't in the financial spot to like buy a brand new car. And when I was going to deal, and my ex-husband just one day said, like, you should sell your car. I'm like, oh, but I don't think I'll qualify right now. He's like, oh, I'll sign for you. Just like that. I didn't say anything to anybody. And then he's like, what about the down payment? I'm like, no, I'm not going to put nothing down. He's like, no, you got to put something down. Walked in, walked out. I didn't put a single penny down for a brand new car. I was just like, no.
What?
But
like, God. That's amazing. Well, if you can do that with your car,
yeah, and I've done it with so many things. With AirPods, I just one day said I want to get AirPods. The next week, my ex-husband bought me AirPods, and I'm like, why did you buy me AirPods? I've always said I don't want them. I think they're bad for us. And he's like, I don't know. I just felt like buying AirPods. And then
I know, because I was telepathically telling someone to give me AirPods.
SP from 5 years ago just bought me these Apple ones for Christmas, who was like the worst. Like, this SP did a lot of crazy stuff. And I consciously, purposely manifested this old SP who bought me these AirPods back in last summer in 3 days. And we had the worst story. No contact for 5 years, like bad breakup. And I was just like, I saw his picture on Facebook, and I'm like, motherfucker, you're going to message me. And I'm like, and we're going to hang out. I literally saw his picture. Like, motherfucker, you're going to message me, and we're going to hang out. 3 days later, he messaged me. It was my birthday, and my friend was with me, and I was dying of laughter as I saw the message pop up. And she's like, what are you laughing? I'm like, no. He just messaged me. And I'm like, you don't understand. Like, we have not talked. He gave me condolences 2 years ago. My mother passed away, but that was it. He never. And at that night of my birthday, he took me out like crazy. We're friends now, and it's just like
Crazy. Oh, that's so consistent.
yeah. And I
Everyone.
relate a lot with the stories that everyone's already been talking about. Like I listen to your sleep affirmations, and same thing. The priority one really, I feel it like like that's the one that I've been listening to your like religiously for like 3-4 months now. The affirmations, but the priority one I really feel has lifted me up with
Really
my self concept because I know that.
good. Well, you just got to pick the one that suits you. Like I know the I Am Chosen one I cannot listen to. Right? So that's probably the one I should put on every night. You know what I mean? But like if there's one that really rings true for you, just bloody keep doing it. Like if you can
Oh yeah,
sleep
yeah.
through
I
it,
sleep
just
through
fucking
it
put it on
like
every night.
every
What's the
night. I don't
harm?
like miss a night. I put it on. I tried actually doing my own voice, and I don't like
Amazing.
it. I like yours.
Well, maybe that's why I don't like listening to my YouTube
Yeah, I
ones.
was
It's
kind of
me.
having like nightmares
Get someone else to
and
do it for me.
not liking it. And I also did hear you in a weird voice one night. Like everyone always says they hear that like strange voice.
Demonic. Oh, someone just said it sounds
Yeah,
demonic
but
at times. Yeah.
when I listen to
Yeah.
my own all night, I don't know.
Weird.
It doesn't feel good. I kind of like felt shitty, or maybe that's the good thing. Maybe it's like really like trying to push the stuff out. But listening to yours is fine.
It's just your mind. It's amazing what it will do to you. It's crazy, isn't it? Oh, well,
Yeah.
darling, I'm so thrilled. Honestly, you sound like a different
Oh, I'm
person from our call,
100%
honestly.
different.
Like, you're so confident in yourself, and it's not all about
No,
him.
no, and I've
Like,
been
it's all
living my
about you
life,
now.
still dating and stuff. Like, even though I know 100% I don't want anything with these other people because I know that we'll be together. But, like, I even
Yeah.
just visualized when we were going on the plane that I'm like, on our plane ride, he is going to hold my hand, he's going to kiss me, and he did. Exactly. Like, but and it feels so natural when it happens because I think like you viewed it in your mind so many times that when it happens, it wasn't like, oh my God, this is happening. No, it was so
Just like, oh,
natural.
that was
And
naturally going to happen.
I just
Yeah.
gotta say to everyone, like, just really when these coaches say like, focus on you, you have to focus on you. Like it, you think they're gonna forget about you, no, but you know, the more you focus on you, like it's crazy how they just come back, and that's when they want to see you or they want to do something or they tell you something. But we just got this fear. I remember
Yeah. And that's why people have this fallacy in their minds that they say, oh, when I forgot about them, they came back. It's not that. It's that you started focusing on yourself and took that needy, desperate, fearful, obsessive energy away, and you just were focusing on you in the time that you forgot about them. And people think that phenomena is about the forgetting. It's not the forgetting, it's the focusing
I know I
on
try to give that
yourself.
example. I
And I
give that
think
example to
otherwise they're
friends
doing
who are not really don't really get it. And I say, like, think about just normally, most of us have this kind of dominant belief that when you move on, they come back. But it's because when you first move on with someone, when you start moving on, it's usually because you start taking care of yourself. Right? So you start taking care of yourself, and now you're like, you're not putting any focus on them because
yeah.
you kind of let them go in your mind, like, you know, and then you focused on you. Maybe you're
Yeah.
meeting someone new. Maybe you're not going to want that person back, but they come back at some point. They always come
Yeah.
back because that's
Yeah.
when you finally let go of them, you
Yeah.
focus on yourself. So like you have to focus.
Yeah, it's just the focusing on you, and then the fearful energy's gone away and everything, and you're knowing that things are working, so naturally everything
And I
will
just
work.
wanted to say,
Oh,
like,
that's brilliant, darling. I'm so thrilled for you.
Mario that just said, like, you know, he had somebody he
Yeah.
was dating kind of reflect some shit to him. I just had that happen 2 days ago. I have, a guy who I've gone on a few
Really?
dates with recently, and just, to kind of live my life and just kind of also use them as a mirror to see kind of where I'm at, like how people are treating me. And had him come with me to a party, and girls in front of me were like flirting with him, but like I've never experienced something so bad in my life. To the end of the night, he was flirting with them, and I was like, what is going on? But I didn't react. I was just kind of like, F you, I'm worth better. Like I know this is just my old thoughts, and we're like,
This is my old not
exactly. So
chosen
like, but
shit.
it was I mean, my friends that were at the party were like, what? Like, how is he like going and talking to this girl? Like, one of my good friends, he's like, what's going on? So he grabbed the girl like to get away from the guy that I was with, and told her like, stay away from him. And then, but then he was going towards her, and I was like, and she was not good looking, like not say like, you know, she just like
Yeah, but it's
complete
just
like
astounding to you. You're like, wow, is this still
different
happening?
version,
Yeah.
like nothing close, like we didn't look anything alike, like, and but obviously she had great
Crazy.
self-concept that he and my shitty subconscious was like, say, I'm going to show you, you're still not chosen kind of thing.
Yep, I'm going to show you. You still haven't fixed
But
this
like
wonderful
6 months
thing.
ago, I probably would have went in a bathroom and cried, you know, or been like devastated, like, oh
Completely.
my God, why me? Why does this always happen? But
And anyway, who cares? It's just some guy you were dating and you don't give a shit. So it taught you that little lesson of like, well, this is me
yeah,
showing
and
up.
like it literally,
Thanks,
I literally
buddy.
came
Thanks
home
for the
that
lesson.
night, deleted his
You know
number
what I mean?
and said like, F you, or before I would have been like, oh my God, like I can't. And he messaged today, Happy Valentine's Day. I didn't respond. I'm like, whatever. Where before my self-concept would have been totally like, you know, I mean, I was angry, but it definitely pushed me up a level too of my self-concept, because I was like, no. I don't deserve, no one's going to disrespect me.
Good.
Like, So when you work on you,
Brilliant.
the whole
darling,
world
that's
reflects it
brilliant.
truly.
Oh,
Thank you.
well, I'm thrilled for
Yes,
you, darling.
yes.
Would you join us at the end?
Yeah,
If I can get everyone to join at
absolutely.
the end.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Your confidence is shining, Marie just said. Oh, that's
Thank
lovely.
you.
Thanks,
Okay.
Helen, darling. I'll talk to you at the end. Bye, darling. Bye. All right, who's next? Mayuri. Hang on, is Mayuri here? These stories are amazing. Oh, good, Rachel. Mayuri's here. Hang on, you're next, darling. I'm sending you an invite. You ready? Hang on, guys. She's coming. She's coming. You there? Oh, why is it not working? Let me press it again. Can't hear it. You're connecting. Oh, there you are.
Hi!
Darling, you're coming.
So nice to see you.
Mayuri,
That is exactly right. Yes. I'm
How are you
good.
doing?
I love you so much. Thank you so much. You are amazing. You are not just a wonderful coach. I think you are an incredible person for helping people out, and it's amazing. I found you in August of last year. I was in Kim's group, and I would see your comments. I'm like, this lady knows her stuff. And I checked.
Oh, in Kim's
Yeah, much earlier.
Oh, because I used to answer questions in there
Like
all
long
the time
ones.
the year before, and I got so many people writing to me in the messenger. I was like, fuck, this is overwhelming. Like, can I message you? Can I message you? And I was like, fuck, maybe I should just start a TikTok. And that's why I think one of the
Maybe I
reasons why
should have done that, because by the time I found you, you had close coaching. I'm like, what? I really liked her. Maybe I should have said, oh, you know, do you coach people? Because you were amazing. I screenshotted the answers and I saved them. Like, I should read these every day. And I mean, that's the thing about your lives and your everything. It's amazing. It's life changing. So my I started doing the self concept in January. Before that, I was focused on other things. But your lives.
So this January,
sorry.
Yes. This January, this been or last January?
This January. Before that, you know, it was a mix of things, and SC was like, yeah, it's good. So I feel good about myself generally, and that's not an issue. So I thought, oh, I don't need it. But January onwards, I'm like, okay, everything apart, I'm going to do this for me, and let's see where it goes. My problem was that I'm a chronic overthinker, like most of the people here, and it's so hard. It was debilitating. It, like, sometimes I would get sweaty palms and I would feel physically sick, and it was just so hard, and for little things. And
so causing you major anxiety.
And and I don't know where that came from. So that's when I decided this is not how I want to feel for anything, even if it's like life changing. This is not how I want to feel. I want to be more in the knowing, in control, you know, have a better handle on myself. And so that's when all your stuff is about go back, look into yourself. And I did that. And I wouldn't call it hard. It was challenging because I had a great childhood. really good childhood. My parents were really good. Like my friends were jealous of me because of how much freedom I got. Everything I wanted, I had, and they were amazing. And it was very hard to figure out, why do I have this? And I kept like I used to watch your lives and replays and TikToks and Facebook lives, everything like clockwork, every morning, every night, whenever I had the chance, put my earbuds on and just
It still freaks me out that people do this, but okay.
like really, there's so much stuff, and you have like you're so patient, even though yelling and all, it's all the part of the package. But you're so patient answering the same questions every single day. And at one point, I'm like, she answered it yesterday. I know, it's amazing. So I'm sure questions I asked sometimes were answered sometime back, and you were very patient and everything. So like sometimes, like what I realized was that and sometimes when I read the stories and posts from people, the kind of hardships that they faced, I thought, they have kudos to all of you. And I thought you had guts of steel to survive that and still get out of that. And so I realized that, it's not always something bad that happens. It's something as innocent as, you go to the park with your child, the child is on the play structure, and you're like, watch out, don't fall down. Be careful, don't fall down. 5 times.
My mum was all about the be careful
Yes.
with me. Be careful, be careful, be careful. And I just never did anything because I was too scared all the time. But she thought she was doing the right thing, protecting me.
Yes, same with me. I was super protected. I never got into trouble. I was good, but I was always protected. There was always a safety net. And so, you start feeling like, I don't know how to do it right. I will mess it up. So problem for me was like fear of failure or not starting something. It's like not going head into something. I want to know that if something happens, you'll catch me. And I think that causes a lot of anxiety. What if it goes wrong? Even if nothing is going wrong, what if it goes wrong? And so I kept thinking about where did that...
You spend a rest of your life on, what if things go wrong? Things go wrong. People get hurt.
Yes.
I might get hurt. I'm not safe. And that's just the time.
Yes. I think it's okay for things to go wrong. Fall down, scrape your knee, get up, dust yourself and walk. That's what I've realized. And again, I was...
So once you discovered that, what did you start doing?
That part I discovered, but like I kept thinking, oh, I should maybe go to the event. And I think I was beating myself up over the event, and I couldn't remember. And I think your latest live or the live before that, you were talking to a lady and you said, oh, if you cannot remember, it's okay. If you remember, great. If you don't, it's okay. As long as you know the trigger, work around it, fix it.
Yeah, you don't know what the childhood event was that caused it.
Exactly.
Know what the trigger
I'm like,
is.
That makes sense. I am spending more time remembering what my brain has forgotten. Why do I want to do that? I should just work on...
No, you can cancel it out completely normally, so you can't remember it. So it's no point even trying to remember it.
And like one of the... I spiraled a few weeks ago. The day you were having the live with Sasha, I was like, I'm spiraling. What do I do? And I know the answer. I know what you'll say. And I'm like, anyone? Nobody helped. But I knew the answer. Like, why am I doing this? So it's still like, I need someone to, you need hand holding. I need her to tell me. I need someone to tell me. And I know the answer. I'm like, this is what I am working against. So I know what to do. I should just do it. And I did what was required. What would you suggest? Oh, this. Okay, let me do that. Say affirmations, visualization. Just calm down. I mean, before that, last year, I would probably be curled up in a ball in a corner somewhere, waiting to die. And I didn't cry. I said, I know how to work through it. And what really helps is doing the little things to know that you can do it. And I also remember from my childhood, things that I would tell people to do. Like I'm talking to somebody, I'm like, you are going to give me good grades, or, you're going to pick me for the team. And I would just tell them and hope that they will, and they would. And I always thought I was lucky. Now I know it had little to do with luck.
Oh, so you're doing
exactly
as a kid, knowing how you're doing it.
I hear your stories and like, wow, yeah, a few things that I remember are like that. So, but I always had, I would go to the lives and go to your list of affirmations and pick the ones. And I remember So like everybody before me said, your Banish the Third Party tape is bee's knees. It's amazing. Nothing to do with the third party.
Oh, good. You've been using
Yeah,
that one.
like
Yeah.
just thinking that you're the priority and you are it is amazing. And then I remember once Shelley Bullard was the first coach that I ever saw in 2020. That's when I started, and she was doing this some inner child work, and she said, say love comes towards me, love is never going to leave me. And the moment she said love is never going to leave me, I started crying, and I'm like, this is it, this is what works. So it, what works if it sets your like heart on like fire. Yes, if it makes you feel like that. And a lot of your affirmations, once you know me, you will love me and you can never be without me. Like I can say that in my sleep. I have said it so many times. So the big stuff and the little stuff, it will come. I am not worried. Now, when I think about it since January, whenever I think about it, and I think about it all the time, you think about things that you want all the time. I don't like go on a rampage for it. The moment I think about it, I'm like, yeah, you know what? I am worth it. I am worthy. And the other affirmations I have written down and I go to it because, I'm like, I have done that stuff for a while. While it's good, maybe this is what will make it work. It doesn't hurt and it makes me feel good. If it
and look how much better you feel in yourself since you've been doing that.
Yes. And I can feel the difference. Like today, I was expecting an important call and it didn't come through. And I called and I didn't get an answer. And, the moment that happens, you start thinking, what's going on? The worst case, that's where you go. I didn't do that today. I smiled and I said, I bet they were busy. I bet they were occupied. And 20 minutes later, I get a text, oh, I was occupied. This was happening. I'm like, that's it. That's the change. You say it a million times to get it in the thick skull, and it's finally, once it sinks in, like they say, the penny drops. I used to think it'll be like that. Once I start working on it, it'll be like that. It's not. It takes time, and to face your triggers and work on it, find an affirmation, a sentence that will work on it. Is not easy, but I think once you find it, write it down, keep it.
Watch find the ones that suit you. Yes, that's why I say they have to be specific to you. That's why when I do the coaching calls, I'm going to have to get people to do the course because I need to know what the issue is. Because I can't just give them just random affirmations because it just won't be effective. And I won't have the same amount of time I had before, like 45 minutes, to ask them every question under the sun to figure out the problem. You know what I mean? Well, you've managed to do that for yourself already, so you know the affirmations that will suit you now and which resonate for you, like the Banish the Third Party one. You're like, well, those are resonating. I like the other one also. One has the music a little bit loud, so it wakes me up, so I cannot listen to it. I know, the first one has a music
no problem.
I know.
I listen to it in the day. I'm like, okay, that's fine. But that one, then...
Yeah, to sleep to it might be a bit loud. Oh, darling, that's wonderful. I'm so thrilled for you, and it's so nice to meet you.
No. I wish I did. At the moment I found out you don't, I said, oh no. And now that's what I manifested. So today when I saw, like, no. Okay, call. If not call, this is the next best thing. I have to talk to her.
Yeah. Brilliant, darling. Were you happy to come on?
I will stick around. So thank you and I love you.
All right, darling.
It's nice to see you. Bye.
See ya. Bye. Hang on, who's next? Opti. Are you here? Am I saying your name right, darling? I don't think I am. Opti. You're going to have to tell me, darling, because I'm saying your name wrong.
Hi.
Yay! Hello, darling. Hi. Can you guys hear me all right? Because everyone's saying can't hear me.
No, I can hear you.
The way I've got my... Can you hear me okay?
Okay.
I can hear you fine, but just everyone else can't hear me. How are you? Darling, how do I say your name?
Guy, but I go by Opchi. That's my fake name, so that my family can't find. So my family can't find my slutty Facebook.
Oh, there you go.
It's Di.
So what's your name, Di? Oh, beautiful. So, darling, tell me about yourself. What have you been doing?
Well, self-concept-wise, I've been listening to, actually, your first one. I like the music. And I like the way that you go, which has stuck with me. You go, I am mesmerizing. So I say that all the time. Like I'll be sitting there doing anything and I'll be like suddenly like, I am mesmerizing. And my little 6-year-old started saying that too. And he's getting it. Like it's pretty cute because like my notebook, and look what he did. He wrote, I love you, I love you, I love you. Because he's like, that's mommy's notebook where she writes nice things so they come true. So she needs to know that I love her. So he gets it.
Oh my God, how
He completely
lovely.
gets it. And it's like the whole I've always thought, like, I've always known kind of that I was like manifesting stuff, but I didn't know that that's what it was called. It's like, because I've always had like, now I know it's my self-concept. I've always had the self-concept that people find me mesmerizing and that men find me super attractive and that everywhere I go, they just want to talk to me. And it's happened my whole life. Like I could be looking like a bum and I'd go to a store and I'd have like men following me and things like that. But I also had the shitty self-concept, which doing the old story came from the guy I lost my virginity to. And so I was expecting everything to be like that.
Sexual stuff from you.
But I didn't know that. So now I'm not like that anymore.
So what were you thinking? I'm mesmerizing.
Yeah, I'm mesmerizing, but just for that. Basically. But like I used to like make a game of it.
I used to get that all the time. I used to get guys hitting on me all the time, and I think, why am I getting the guys who just want sex from me? What is it? And it wasn't the way I dressed, and it wasn't the way I spoke or what I was doing, and I wasn't being in masculinity, and I wasn't approaching guys, and it would happen over and over and over again. And I'd be like, what the fuck? And people would actually say to me, like, in bars and stuff, you've got this little sexual energy, and I think, fuck, stop saying that. And it really used to annoy me. I used to be like insulted by it, and I'd be like, I don't want to be that. But it was
like I used to tell my friend, like, I think I'm a succubus. Because I'm just always attracting men. Like, there's just something about me that I drive them crazy. But then that's all they want.
But then would you get the commitment that you wanted?
I have gotten men that I've wanted. My husband, after our first date, I came home and I told my mom I met my husband. 5 months to the date of our first date, we got married.
Holy shit, that's amazing!
And
I love that
even
story.
like we're poly, so we're in an open relationship. Like my SP now, I went to high school with him. And it's like I remember him from the yearbook. I saw him posting something on someone else's Facebook, and I saw his arms, and I'm like, ooh, I'm going to have those arms around me. And no lie, like I made this Facebook, and the same exact day that I made this Facebook, he slid into my DMs.
No, and
I had just thought of him like a few months before. I'm like, I can't wait to have his arms around me. And it happened, and it's still going on. It's been over a year, and it's still going on. And like stuff with him, like with the old, I don't want to go too much into the old story, but it was really bad. Like I've deleted all the old conversations from us fighting, but we had like horrible fights and everything. But then I started changing things like no, of course he's into me. Like, why wouldn't he be into me if he's telling me these things? Of course he's into me. He's gonna come back. He's gonna come back. How could he not? Like, I'm great. And it keeps happening, and it's like, it's even to the point where like he said he's mine. He says I'm his. He twice already he's told me that he's moving away, and I've told my husband he's not moving. He's not moving. Like I remember whining on one of your lives once, telling you he's thinking of going to Florida. I can't have him go to Florida. And the next weekend, like I went to go see him, and he's like, "Oh, I'm not going to Florida."
Of course you're fucking not, dude.
And even my husband's like,
Amazing.
you know, he's not going to Florida. He can't stay away from you. He's not. My husband's
He
like,
said
he
it.
can't stay away from you. He's not gonna go to Florida. And it's like, it's not
Oh
only
my
with men, it's
God.
like with money, with like, I've noticed like every, like my life, like I've always had the idea that things fall into my lap, that I don't have to look for jobs, that I,
Mhm. So what do you think you've improved recently? Do you think so you've always had that dominant assumption, but do you think you've improved self-concept
I've
stuff
improved
recently,
my
or do you think you've just
self-concept
always
because I've
naturally done all
like,
that?
now I'm actually like doing like like I'm listening to your sleep tapes. I've made my own. And actually in
Of
one of them,
course.
which I just I just talked about it at an improv show on Saturday
Oh,
because
you
I
were
do
saying about the
improv.
improv show. That's brilliant.
But I had gone just as an audience member, and I ended up getting interviewed. And
Oh,
one of
how
my
cool.
affirmations is somebody gave me $2,000. I listened to that for like a week. We got in the mail a check for $500 from my husband's aunt with a letter telling us that she misses us. And then I got paperwork from an old job that I haven't been at for years about stock that I had, $1,500 worth. There's $2,000.
No.
And
That's
it's just like
crazy.
the more I notice like things happening, the more I'm like convinced like, holy shit, I've been doing this my whole life. And I told my mom, and she's like, "Of course you've been doing
Mm-hmm.
it your whole life. You brought your pet turtle back to life," which is true. I had a little pet turtle when I was three
Oh
years
my
old,
God.
and it got out of like its little habitat, and it got under the bathroom scale, and my mom weighed herself and heard the crunch. And
Oh,
and I'm like,
horrifying.
it's not, she's not dead. She's not dead. She's not dead. She's not dead. And my mom was like, okay, I'll let her hold it and everything, and then I'll, dispose of it. It came back to life. So it's like,
Amazing. So you've naturally been doing this without realizing you're doing it. So that's why maybe your son's so good at this and he's listening to you and he's going to be masterful by the time he's your age because he's soaking in now you consciously really doing it openly.
yes.
You know
And
what I mean?
he is soaking it in, and he says things like, "I'm the greatest YouTuber there is," and I'm telling my husband like he's gonna end up like famous somewhere. Like I've already signed him up for theater classes because when he goes to see me sometimes he's like, I'm gonna play improv, and he's just like totally like he's totally
Really?
into it. So I think he's gonna do something. So I've signed him up for theater classes, and I tell him like, buddy, you always have to talk nicely to yourself. Don't ever say anything bad about yourself. Say
Brilliant.
something nice about yourself because you're amazing.
That's lovely.
I'm like, you're amazing.
Always talk nicely to yourself. What a
Like I
wonderful
tell
thing to
him,
say
and
to a kid. Yeah.
I've always told all my
Yeah.
friends, like, you wouldn't go up to someone and tell them, oh, you're ugly, oh, you're hideous, oh, you're stupid, oh, you're fat, oh, you're this, oh, you're that. So why would you do it to
One
yourself? And
say to
I've always
yourself.
thought that
Yeah.
way of myself too. Like obviously I'm fat, which is I'm not saying it like to put myself down. It's a descriptor. That's the way I look at it. It's a description.
You're curvy.
I'm fat. I'm beyond curvy. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
matter. I'm all right with it. I'm
All
gorgeous.
right. Well, you're
So
curvy.
I'm all right with it. And
Exactly.
like I've gotten friends to shave their heads like me. I've gotten friends to wear bikinis. Because they see me doing it. So it's like I've just always had
Mm-hmm. And
high
you've got that
self.
uber confidence
I've
that they
always
want
had
to embody.
high, I called it high self-esteem, but high self-concept. Like I just think I'm the shit.
Yeah.
And I was saying that at the improv show,
Good.
I'm like, I just assume things are gonna go well, and they do.
Masterful. So you've just naturally been doing it, and now you're
Now
realizing
I
you're
know
doing
I'm doing it, so I'm like doing like more. Like before, it was like, oh, I
more of it.
didn't. I didn't know I was doing it, but like reverse engineering, I'm like, oh yeah, even the little games I used to play with myself, like when I'd be hanging out with a guy, I'd be like, oh, he's gonna kiss me in 10 minutes. And I knew exactly when, like,
And then he would.
oh, this guy's gonna try this guy's gonna try that, or this girl's gonna try this girl's gonna try that, because it's not just with men, it's with like everybody, and
Yep.
it happens.
And see, I would do that, but I would do the opposite, think the negative, and then they do the negative, or something negative would happen. So I was masterfully doing it, thinking
See,
negatively.
I'd be like,
well, you're doing it
see
thinking
me, I'd be like,
positively.
oh, it's so easy to catch people, but then like they get bored with me. They get that's what I used to think, like, oh, they got bored
And then
with
that would be
me.
your dominant assumption.
And of course they'd get bored with me because that's what I expected them to do. And it's happened with like weird things too. Like I have the assumption that animals are gonna attack me. So like I've had a bat fly into me. I've been chased by a pelican. I've had we have wild turkeys here in Rhode Island. So I was attacked. I was chased by a turkey in my own driveway. So I'm like, oh,
No, you got to get rid of that assumption.
I
That's
get
a
it
shit
now.
assumption.
It's because I always expect animals to attack me. Like, it's the most ridiculous thing. I was sitting in this room a couple years ago doing homework, and I heard like a scratching. And I'm like, what the hell? Do we have mice? No, it was a freaking bird flew out of our ceiling fan and just started flying towards me. And I'm like, what the hell? In my own house. Like, every time I tell the story, everyone's like, what the hell? And it's just like, it's just amazing to know. And I'm like teaching my mom. Every time I see my mom now, she's like,
brilliant.
Oh, I won $1 million. Oh, I won the lottery.
That's great.
So she's like, I'm getting
That's brilliant.
My family into it. I have people at the theater telling me that they're gonna adopt my way of thinking. Like I even told them, start small. Like think you're gonna get free coffee or that you're gonna see a purple car.
Yep.
Things like that. Yep. And it's funny because after the show, one of the ladies was like, I'm just gonna assume someone's gonna buy me a beer at the bar. I gotta ask her if someone did, but
someone did, yeah.
But it's amazing. Like I love. It's like to the point that I want to go like on TikTok and like tell people like, do this, do that. Like I've done affirmations.
You know the amount of people who've watched my account who are now doing manifestation accounts? There's must be about 6 girls who've all got TikToks now who either had calls with me or followed me or still follow me.
Yeah, like
go and do it.
I've done a couple like.
Or do your improv stuff about it or something.
I should that's another thing. Like I'm sitting there like at improv shows and a lot of the stuff that comes out because it's made up on the scene. Like I don't know if everyone knows what improv is. It's acting, but there's no script. You just make it up. Usually they only give you one word.
We have to do it every week.
Usually like you go on like one word from the audience and you got to make a whole show made up on the spot. And like lately everything's been like about manifesting. Like the show on Friday, they were talking about someone with a dream journal, with tarot cards, with things like that. I'm like, oh my God, are they reading my mind?
Oh, darling, that's brilliant. I'm thrilled for you. So you've just always been a master.
Yeah, now that I know what it is. Like I've just always thought, oh, I'm lucky.
Exactly. Those people everyone thinks are lucky. They're not lucky. They're just really good.
Like that's just what I've always thought. Oh, I'm lucky. Thinkers. Like I've always gotten jobs so easily. Like I don't even look for them. They just come to me. Like everything has always just come to me. I'm like a magnet. Things just come to me.
Yeah. That's brilliant. So if you've always thought you were magnetizing, that's why you were magnetizing all those things.
I have thought it ever since I was like tiny. I've thought like
That's crazy.
I'm amazing. Like I can't believe how great I am. I can't believe I exist.
I love it. I love it. Oh, darling, I love your confidence. Everyone's writing it here. So at the end, I'm sure people are going to ask you questions about how you're so bloody confident, how great it is. Do you mind if you pop on at the end with us? Yay! Oh, darling, so lovely to meet you. Oh, Di, what a gorgeous story. I love it. And I love how your son's into it too.
All right.
Okay, I'm going to add you at the end, okay?
Bye-bye.
Lovely talking to you, darling. Bye. Hang on, who are we up to? Okay, it's Dylan. All right, Dylan. Where are you? I can't wait to meet Dylan. Dancing Dylan.
There we go.
Here he is. Yay!
Hello.
Hi, darling.
How are you? Right now, it's only 7:30.
Oh, no, you're in America. It's all right. I thought you were in somewhere else.
Good.
How are you, darling?
Just got off work, so.
Oh, brilliant. So what have you been up to? You've got lots of little manifestation
I have
buddies,
one.
don't you?
Star Moon is my manifestation buddy. Yeah.
Oh, Star Moon. Okay. That's why she volunteered you.
She's been keeping me accountable and it's been good.
So you're a professional. What
I've
kind
been
of dancer,
training
darling?
in like like ballet, contemporary, and hip hop my whole life. So
Wow.
all of those basically.
Because I saw your Facebook cover photo and you were in a boat and I was like, you must have done ballet.
I was known as the ballet dancer in the studio, so.
Love it. So how are things going for you, darling? What have you
I've
been
been doing a lot of like self-concept around my SP, but mainly around work right now because I know my SP is like, he's already on his way. Like I'm not worried about that at the moment. Like I actually came from a spot where I had to affirm less, which I feel like everybody's the opposite. You have to affirm more. But I was like the obsessive one. Like I probably 23 hours out of the day, I was thinking my affirmations at work, school, like everything.
Wow.
And actually I had to take a step back and realize, no, that obsessiveness is actually not bringing it any faster because I wanted to change my thoughts really fast. And when I, like probably the past 2 weeks, I realized I'm not thinking about him as much. And like, I'm just thinking about me more. And honestly, it doesn't feel like I'm not wanting him anymore. It just feels like, yeah, he's on his way and I'm just waiting here, you know, in my queen.
Good. And so do you think you changed up your affirmations a bit more at some point to more self-concept?
Yeah, a
or?
lot of SP affirmations. Yeah. I switched that as soon as I found out that the self-concept ones were actually working a lot better. Saying all the ones.
Right. And how did you know that?
People like, what's the word? Parroting it back to me. At work, customers, actually. People have, yeah, so I would say things like, my affirmations are like, oh, I'm gorgeous, I'm wanted and desired, I'm the most desirable man, all these things. And I'm even having like cute straight guys coming in saying like, oh, like, you look gorgeous. And I was like, oh, thanks. And then I went home, I was sitting there and I was like, wait, that's my affirmation. Like, it didn't click at first.
Yep. I've already seen people writing how cute you are before you even said all that in the comments here, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's working in the comments. Oh, that's so cool. So then you realize you were like, oh, hang on, that's me doing that.
Honestly, crazy. Once you start really doing your affirmations, and almost every day I'm seeing people starting to say like my affirmations back to me, which is cool. It's kind of freaky at times because it's like, I thought that.
Yeah. And so what's happening with the work stuff that's improved?
During the breakup, which was 4 months ago, I was in a different job and my self-concept got really shitty. So I actually ended up getting fired from that job, manifesting getting fired from that job. It was funny because I had thoughts about it. I'm like, oh, you know, I don't really like this job, or, you know, I could do better things with my time, and, you know, nothing about it. And then I got the call. I was like, I wasn't even like,
I'm going to be doing better things in my time.
I totally did that. But I wasn't worried. I've always found jobs super fast. I found that one in 3 days, and I found this new one in 3 days with a better pay. So
Amazing.
Once I got let go and I was working on my self-concept, I actually started making more money. My coworkers, I've always had like issues with getting along with people in my work environment, but as soon as I was hired there, people are loving me. And when it was my birthday, I was like, I love flowers, and I was like, I want a flower for my birthday. And my birthday was in November, and my coworkers got me a bouquet of flowers and a cupcake. And there's probably been 10 other birthdays since then, and nobody else has gotten anything except for me. And I'm like, oh, I feel.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. And so were you purposefully affirming for the work colleagues to treat you nicely, or was it you were just doing self-concept and it reflects to them? So you didn't have to, this is the thing that people don't understand. So my best friend was like, I can't be bothered changing all my work colleagues, each individual person seeing a new version. I'm like, no, you just see yourself as like this and they'll see you like that.
Exactly.
So that's what happened for you. Oh, brilliant. Oh, that's so cool. And did you see all the suggestions about Spice Boy Saturday and things?
I'm not quite sure what that's about. I know.
Did you not see the live where we were talking about you?
I think I did. I think
dancing together.
we'll do that, right?
Well, what I was going to do was I was going to bring him on, and you can meet him if you want to do dancing together. I don't know if I can though. Can I bring on another third person? Hang on. Wait a second. Let me see if I can bring on Mitch. Because this is your Mitch's arch enemy because you're an actual dancer.
Oh.
Hi. Hello.
Nice to meet you.
I'm here. I'm sorry to disappoint everybody, but I'm here. I'm in the car, so I apologize for the crude environment. I'm outdoors, so.
Oh, darling, that's all right. How are you?
I'm sweaty. I'm sweaty, but I'm good.
You're sweaty, so am I, because I turned my aircon off and I'm sitting in front of lights. So Dylan, Mitch, Dylan, this is the competition going on. For some reason, we've pitted you against each other in the group.
No, Dylan's the good-looking one.
I thought I think we'll make you do Spice Girls or whatever the fuck it was.
Ridiculous idea.
Dylan, unless you want to start doing sexy dances and sing like Mitch,
I could try.
but no pressure.
No, I follow Dylan's account on TikTok, and this guy's got the hot moves. I can't even compare. I wouldn't even try. Not me.
Oh, so you put your dancing on TikTok, do you, Dylan? Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, how amazing. I must go check it out. Oh, how cool. So what are you doing with your dancing?
Now, honestly, just TikTok.
Brilliant. Well, I think that's the best platform to be on for dancing. I mean, shit. Years ago, there was nothing for dancers. Like, there was no, you think you can dance. There was no TikTok. There was no nothing. It was all just sing, and if you're a dancer, you were screwed. That's brilliant, darling. Oh, I love it. And do you do everything, or are you doing hip hop mostly, or what are you doing?
TikTok dancing? It's not really. I don't even know. Kind of.
Not real dancing. But you know what? When people do the real dancing on TikTok, I've noticed it gets attention in the comments, which is, this is a real dancer, not a whatever the fuck they do that's not dancing. You know what I mean? Like, I've noticed it a lot recently that people are starting to appreciate the actual dancers. So put that on, because I swear to you, like, have you seen the guys doing like the Irish dancing with their clogs in the street and shit? And like, they're getting so much attention. Yeah, because they're doing something different. They're not doing what's that bitch who can't fucking dance and she copies everyone who's black and she's like.
Is it Charlie D'Amelio?
You know what I'm talking about? Oh, Charlie, what's her face? Like, those girls are just going, and doing something simple that dumb people could do, and that's why they got followers. But like the people who are wowing people now with the dancing, they're like getting followings because people are like, well, I can't fucking do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I will.
Do more of that, Dylan. Show off. Dylan, and then Mitch can just do. That's Mike.
I'll just shake my ass, everybody. That's all I do. I can do it right here. I'll show you.
Exactly. You do that masterfully, darling. Masterfully.
Actually, the only thing I think I've manifested.
So, Dylan, was there anything else you wanted to tell us? What are you showing me, your man?
Oh, yeah, sorry. No, Dylan, you go. Sorry, I interrupted. You first, buddy.
No, tell us.
No, I was going to say, everyone has all these fantastic, like, success stories. Really inspirational. And me, I think I've only manifested this man bun. That's about it. Actually, I think there was a comment. There was a comment where someone said they'd like to braid my hair. Look how long this shit is now. Fuck.
Oh no, put it back. Just put that back. No,
sorry, I'm embarrassing myself.
The sex appeal has gone
well,
down
good. I don't want any of you.
But honestly, darling, are you joking? Are you not thinking that maybe you might have been a success in the fact that you've got all these chicks in your DMs manifesting you?
Yes. I've been humbled, and I think people think so much of me, but I don't think much of myself. So I really appreciate it. It's really picked me up, and I appreciate it. There's so much love in this group.
I know, it's lovely. It's so cute. Especially for you.
God, I need it, eh? Yeah.
Don't worry, there'll be some, when the group gets bigger, there'll be some hotter, younger 20-year-olds with the ripped abs and stuff, and everyone will forget about Mitch.
Yeah, I'll slip somewhere into the background, and then I won't comment. Mitch Mondays will just become a thing of the past. It'll just be
You'll just be Uncle Mitch. Oh,
it'll just be Thirsty Thursdays. That's about it.
Thursday. Oh god, guys, should I try and bring everyone on? Do you reckon I can do it? Let's try, because this is what I'm going to do with the group calls. Okay, so hang on, let me just re-add everyone. Oh fuck, I can't, because I can't find their names. Oh shit, I can't do it because I can't find their names because there's 120 people here and I can't find you all. All right, that'll have to be the end then. I can't find your names, guys. I'm in Australia, Mitch, Rachel just said. So guys, have you got any questions while we're here? Let's try. Okay, let me see if I can bring on anyone. Okay, Mayuri's coming on. I'm going to bring you on. Guys, request me again, will you, if you've already been on the call? What party did I just join? Jody, you've joined the success party.
Hello.
Mayuri.
Hi. Whoa.
Okay, hang on. Who else is there? Mario? Mario's coming back. Oh, hang on. No more than 3 people can be on camera with you.
Oh no.
Just told me off. I've just been Facebook banned for adding any more people. How annoying. I can't add Judy either. Let me try and add Judy. No, can't do it. Oh, how annoying. Maybe I could go away and you guys could just chat. All right, guys, I'm going to go. Does anyone have any questions for anyone while everyone's here? Like the neon hairstyle, Mitch. Oh, Di's here. Oh, Uncle Mitch.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's try. Whitney just said you can slip into my background, Mitch.
I love the chickens. Please continue.
All right, guys. Well, there's no questions, and it's so annoying that I can't add everyone. If we did a Zoom, I guess we'd add everyone. But the reason why I'm going to do it this way, guys, is if we do a success story live like this every week, then I'll just have a few people, and then when I do the group coaching, I'm going to do it like this with 7 people, but do 1 person at a time, and maybe I'll do 4 and then 3. Oh no, hang on, it'll have to be 3 and 3. Oh, that won't work. Anyway, I'll figure it out. But guys, would you guys be okay with me putting this in the Facebook group and maybe YouTube or not YouTube?
That's fine. Yep.
You don't mind? I have to ask everyone else if they're all right with it. All right, guys. Any more questions? Everyone's just got their hands up. Loved hearing from everyone. Yay! This was so fun. Oh, like the onion hairdo, Mitch. Onion hairdo.
Hey, at least I got that going for me. That's all I got. I appreciate it.
You've got a
It's
semi-man bun.
Give me another 3 months and I'll manifest a huge one. It'll be this big.
So I'm manifesting him to cut it off. But don't tell him that.
Yeah, we'll keep watching you.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for joining me. You can watch this straight back afterwards, okay? And if you've got any questions for anyone, put it in the chat underneath. And then if anyone who was on the videos wants to answer, they can answer. I'm getting so sweaty. Look at me. I've gone red. Can you tell I've been sitting in front of these lights too long? And it's 36 degrees outside. And it's now 36 degrees in my room. I'm boiling. All right, guys. Love you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks for joining me. See you guys.